Your life does not have to be optimized to be worth living. We live in a world where we have unprecedented access and knowledge of the lives of the people around us. Basically, any hobby, job, career, idea you might have or journey you might want to embark on, someone else has probably already started it, reached it to completion, and blasted a step-by-step, day-by-day fucking playbook about that exact thing. And while this is a beautiful opportunity to always be able to rely on free resources to teach you quite literally anything in this life, at the same time, I think for people who are perfectionists or even just women generally who often want to be really, really confident that they're doing the exact right thing before they take a step, or they need to be extremely confident that they're completely qualified before they even put themselves up for scrutiny of any kind or allow themselves to be perceived. For people like that, for people like us, you end up feeling like, okay, if I haven't thought this through to completion, if I haven't optimized, if I haven't thought about the best way to do this, if it isn't 100% perfect, no one gets to see it. I'm not going to try, or it just doesn't happen. And you'll have an idea for something that unfortunately literally gets crushed by the weight of your own standards, because instead of giving yourself permission to begin, you are giving yourself these extreme levels of like expert criteria that you must pass in order to start. And it's so sad because the people who are half as talented as you, but had the confidence to begin, are getting there. They are learning out loud. They are willing to be seen. They are willing to be perceived as beginners. And because of their willingness to simply be seen trying, they are learning so much faster than you, to the point where even if they started off not as smart as you, not as capable as you, not as talented as you, they have now surpassed you because they did all their learning almost like in a pressure cooker by doing it while trying instead of doing it while iterating on the first step. And I think about this analogy all the time because I don't know when I came up with this, and I probably said it on previous episodes, but I always talk about the math analogy. Like, you don't start learning math and immediately skip to understanding algebra. You have to start by learning the numbers. So what do? You go to class, the teacher tells you what numbers are, they probably give you some homework, and you submit that homework, right? And then you get some kind of grade or whatever it is. Well, this is the American system. I didn't grow up in America. I didn't even have grades in certain places, but whatever. But okay, let's say you get a grade, whatever it is, right, on the numbers, and some of you are going to get 100%. Some people get freaking 0%. Some people get 80%. But I can tell you right now, the student that doesn't show up to class tomorrow because they didn't get a perfect grade on their first assignment related to numbers, the student that stops attending school because of that will never fucking learn algebra. The student that never even showed up on day one to learn about numbers, or never bothered to submit their assignment on numbers because they felt like, I'm not going to get 100% on my assignment on learning numbers, literally just what they are, how to count them, how to say them. The student that didn't fucking clock into that class will never learn algebra, because a default requirement for you ever getting to the grade level of understanding and doing algebra, the baseline requirement for that was learning about numbers. And the baseline requirement for learning about numbers was showing up, putting yourself out there, and submitting assignments and failing things and learning from your mistakes and continuing to show up after that, having the courage, giving yourself the permission to be a beginner. Only those people that saw it through went from learning numbers to doing algebra. And let's relate it back to like what we're actually talking about, right? When you say, I really want to start a podcast, or I really want to do content creation, or I really want to travel the world, or I really want to change jobs, or I really wish I was a makeup artist, or I really want to start my own business, or I really want to make my own app, whatever it is, I really want to learn how to cook this year, I really want to lose weight, whatever, right? When you have that goal, but you immediately think of like the absolute end result and everything that it's going to take to get there. You start trying to optimize to get yourself there. What's the perfect way you can approach it? How can you basically become an expert on your first fucking try? When you are so obsessive around the particulars just to get started, the particulars of the actions you're going to take, not just taking the first smallest, tiniest action, but taking the first perfect action you can possibly take. Your obsession with optimizing your first step will literally cause so much friction that you don't take the first step. And because you don't take the first step, you will never take the last step, because the prerequisite to take the last step is taking the first one. And you didn't take the first one, so you'll never take the last one. But when you give yourself permission to begin, like, okay, I want to lose 20 pounds, so all I'm going to say is every morning I'm going to do 5 minutes of movement. I'm going to play my favorite song. I'm going to dance around. Or I'm going to try to start slowly phasing in like a gym habit or even an at-home workout habit. So in the morning, I'm going to put on workout clothes and literally do like a 5-minute ab circuit, take the workout clothes off. Or put the workout clothes on and immediately take them off. Like tiniest goal you can think of, get used to the momentum of doing it, and then expand the goal. When you stop optimizing and obsessing over step one, and you just give yourself permission to begin, that will lead you to your end result 100 times faster than spinning your wheels on how to even get started, because you want to start in the perfect way. And as always, I say this to you because it's something I also need to hear, right? I have been told to start a podcast for literally years, and it was always something that I was like in the back of my head, like knew I wanted to do. But I kind of had no idea where to get started. And I think I really was overthinking what it would actually take to do it. And then finally, I don't know when this was, maybe a month ago now. Actually, I think maybe close to a month ago to the day now. I just bit the bullet and started one, posted my first episode. And the most shocking part is, first of all, how easy it is to start when you stop telling yourself there's so many things you need to get perfect in order to start. I have recorded episode after episode after episode over the years that just never saw the light of day. Just talking and probably sharing like really worthy nuggets of whatever ideas I had at the time. But because I had all of these hangups around, again, like criteria and hoops that were literally self-inflicted, that I was telling myself I had to jump through in order for those, audio messages or whatever to see the light of day, none of them fucking saw the light of day. Podcast was never started. And even now where I'm on, this will be episode 9, right? First of all, I love everyone that has come and like told me how episodes have resonated with you, and that you've enjoyed them and you guys are following. I really, really appreciate it. But it's like, even with, starting and just saying, you know what, I don't need to build up hype or do some perfect thing or understand every element to podcasting, and even do it in the really fancy way that other people do it, right? Where they have the setup and the mics and all of that crap. I'm literally just recording on voice memos on my phone, and I do zero editing. I just post it. But because I gave myself permission to start, one, you were able to engage with this. You were able to listen to this. You were able to resonate with my ideas. And that is encouraging, right, for me to keep going, separate from like if I recorded all these episodes and didn't post any of them, and I was trying to figure out for myself what was great or wasn't great or whatever. Who cares? Just post it, right? That's totally different. All those episodes I've made in the past, I no longer remember them because they never saw the light of day. But the ones that have now seen the light of day, where people are reaching out to me to let me know they really needed to hear that, or this is what they resonated with the most, like that is teaching me something now that I can move forward with, that I couldn't learn when I wasn't fucking submitting my homework, because all those episodes I have recorded in prior years never saw the light of day. But even now I find myself like trying to figure out, okay, like what's the best way to go about it? And I know other people put way more effort into their podcasts. They script them and they plan what they're going to say, and they have all of these very specific ideas, and they talk about niching down and knowing exactly who your audience is and making sure you record with video, which I can say is an entire pet peeve of mine. I find it so irritating that everyone encourages you to do video with your podcasts. It's literally a fucking podcast. Like the whole existence of podcasts is because they were meant to be audio experiences. This is not to say I'll never make it like a video thing. It's just annoying to me that part of why I enjoy making these podcast episodes is because I look, in an interesting way right now. Let's like put self-love in the room and not shit on myself. But yeah, like I like how relaxed I can be because it's not a visual thing. It's about my ideas. It's about my words. And as an aspiring author, or well, technically I am an author. I wrote the book. It's just not available for you to purchase yet. But as someone that likes the idea of being associated with my ideas, my words, my thoughts, I don't want to distract you with what I look like or don't look like or whatever expectations there are there. So I find it annoying that everything about growing a podcast is like, make video, post video, like, shut up. But anyways, that's partially why I even recorded this episode, is because I had to remind myself, like, hey, I don't have to optimize. Like, if recording a video and making this like a video podcast experience or whatever adds a lot of extra elements of work for me that create friction to the point where I stop posting, I would rather just grow way slower. I'd rather just resonate only with people that, have no interest in seeing what I look like or whatever it is. I'd rather grow slower and reach you guys with my ideas because I'm not over optimizing and overthinking things than to say, oh, okay, well, everyone is saying to do video podcasts, so I'm going to make sure I sit down and get a mic and have a nice background, and then disrupt literally my entire creative process because instead of recording on voice memos where it's very easy for me to stop and start to make sure I'm getting my ideas out fluidly and then do literally no editing afterwards and just hit post, title it and post it, I would have to then record it on video and then clip the videos and do all of this fucking manual editing, blah, 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 blah. You don't care about this. What I'm saying is show up, show up, show up, show up, show up. Stop waiting for perfection. Me not waiting for perfection is why anything I've ever said to you on this podcast has been able to reach you. And the collective deserves your input as well on whatever other aspect of your life you plan to contribute with. Whatever that dream you have is, whatever that hobby you want to start is, even if the only person whose life will change materially or who will be impacted by that is you, it's worth it. Also because butterfly effect, you being a better person in any way will ultimately result in an effect on the people around you and all of your, interactions. But even if that wasn't the case, even if everything you do in this life is just for you, you're the only beneficiary audience member, it's worth it. And I feel like you deserve the grace of having the permission to begin. And you can give yourself that permission today. And you don't have to over-optimize. You don't have to have a fear of perception until everything is perfect, because it'll never be perfect. And frankly, if your goal is perfection, you'll get there faster by trying and failing fast and hard and learning fast and hard than you will by trying so hard to perfect step 1 and literally never getting to step 100 because you don't take step 1. So, as always, thank you for spending this time with me. Always love chatting with you guys. Feel free to talk back in the comments. I love hearing your ideas if any of this resonated. You can also reach out to me directly on my website, livelumani.com/connect, because this is a two-way street. And beyond that, this is a community that I want us to create with each other, where it's not just my yapping that is valued here. It's your thoughts are also welcome. Also, if this resonated with you and you have friends that would enjoy this kind of content, or you want to be able to talk about this podcast with someone who isn't just me in the comment section or whatever, share this episode with a friend. If there are other episodes you've already listened to that you really enjoyed, go back and share them with your friends, So I would love to hear the discourse you guys have and be a fly on the wall. You can, of course, come back to me and let me know what you guys thought collectively. But yeah, I really would love for this to be a community that we're growing. So if you know someone that you really think would enjoy this, please let them have the chance to hear it. My name is Obie. Welcome to Live Lumani. Hit that follow button. I hope you're here to stay, and I'll see you next time. Bye.